from the Vumelana Advisory Fund, and we're going to talk about land reform in South Africa. Good afternoon, Mr. Setou, and welcome to Eden FM.
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for having me.
What is the success rate of land reform in South Africa?
Well, land reform in South Africa is a bit of a mixed bag, for lack of a better word. South Africa faces a dilemma in the sense that the process of land reform has proceeded too slowly to satisfy what I would call post-liberation expectations. Much of the land that has been transferred to communities has become economically inactive. We have situations where productive assets, which were bought over by government and transferred to the claimant communities, became desolate. In some instances, workers have lost their jobs and the local economy got affected. This has often led to instability and resentment among the beneficiary communities. That is why, as Vumelana, we have, as a result, identified a need to assist in resolving some of the challenges that lead to high failure rate in land transfer through supporting such communities to mobilize much needed investments to ensure that restored land is kept productive.
Now, explain to us what is meant with the communal property institutions, or CPIs, and also what the challenges are with the land reform program and the running of these CPIs.
Well, communal property as institutions really is either your CPAs, which is communal property associations, or trusts. Typically, when a community claims the land, when ownership is restored in respect of that land, is transferred in the name of either a trust or a communal property association. Now, the reality is that a lot of these CPAs are still fairly new, a lot of them, and they've got challenges from ranging from the fact that they do not always have the skill set to actually manage these assets. They do not always have the financial resources to make sure that the restored land can remain productive. And a lot of times there are issues around good governance, i.e. that the CPA has been properly constituted with an approved constitution and approved policies and procedures, that it's got sound policies, financial administration, and they can produce the audited financial statements, for example, on an annual basis, that it can effectively administer its assets, and most importantly, that it can maintain effective social cohesion among the members by, for example, reporting on the developments and progress through annual general meetings and others. It's for that reason that we are introducing these Vumelana Governance Awards, in a sense, to really incentivize CPAs and reward good governance practices by those CPAs.
Yes. And there are obviously opportunities presented as well by the land reform program. Give us one or two of those.
Well, the opportunities that are being presented by the land reform program is, one, you have a situation where ownership is transferred to previously disadvantaged people. You have an opportunity for previous disadvantaged individuals to own land for the first time and to run businesses that could actually create much needed jobs. Thereby ensuring economic inclusion of the previously excluded.
Can you name one or two challenges with the land reform program currently?
Well, as I've said, the biggest challenge really here is the slow progress in ensuring that claims are finalized. I think that's one of the challenges. Two, the fact that communities themselves do not have the skill set or the capacity, for that matter, to administer those properties. And the other challenge, the biggest challenge, is the fact that while the private sector could be having an appetite to actually invest in this land, a lot of times there's a trust deficit between the investors on the one hand and the communities. That is why, as Vumelana, we play that role to facilitate, what we would call commercially viable partnerships between beneficiary communities on the one hand and investors, so that much needed jobs can be created, income can be created, skills can be developed and transferred to this community.
So there's obviously great value in these communal private partnerships.
Absolutely. That's what we are really focusing on. So it's through initiatives like this Vumelana Governance Awards that we are beginning to say we would like to have a look at what is it that these various communal property associations across the country have been up to. Do they have governance processes in place? Because our view is that good governance among CPAs is a key ingredient in successful land reform. One of the biggest challenges that we've identified with beneficiaries of land reform, and possibly it has contributed to the high failure rate of land reform projects, is the low levels of compliance with the basic requirements of good governance by the CPA. This in most instances leads to mistrust and sometimes infighting amongst the communities and destruction of assets.
And then finally, Mr. Setou, where can our listeners go if they have any queries or any questions regarding land reform? Is there a website or a number that they could phone?
Yeah. Communities or CPAs or trusts or beneficiaries of land reform can go to our website, which is www.vumelana.org.za, or they can send us an email at info@vumelana.org.za, or they can contact us on our number, which is 011-612-2000. And when they contact us, they will get information about Vumelana and specifically information about this governance award, because we have opened for the entries. Now the entry closes on the 4th of November 2016. These awards would give recognition to those entities that are making an effort to run their affairs in a much more better way. And there's cash awards or cash to be won by those entities. I mean, the first prize is 200,000, and the second prize is 100,000.
Oh, that's huge prizes.
Yeah, those are huge prizes. But also, let's not lose sight of the fact that even if you don't get the first prize, the fact that we have actually reviewed how the CPAs are actually doing in terms of good governance, and if they get a status of having won something, or even if they come third or whatever, they can use such winning status as a basis to attract more investment, private investment into their land. Because investors would not like to invest in a too risky environment.
Mr. Setou, thank you very much for talking to us. All the best.
Thank you very much.
En dit was meneer Pieter Setou van Vumelana Advisory Fund. And there's a media notification from the George municipality regarding a power outage in a portion of Denneoord. The portion of Denneoord affected by a power outage last night will again be switched off for most of today. Temporary repairs were made last night, but the unit requires more extensive work to ensure safety. The area affected includes St. Paul's, Kerk, Eiland Street. Work will commence at 9 a.m. this morning and an update will be sent later today. The repair job is expected to take a full day. George Municipality apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
'n Ongeluk kan met enigiemand gebeur. DSC Prokureurs is 'n welbekende regsfirma wat spesialiseer in persoonlike beseringsreg.